thanks again for showing up. We appreciate you guys being here, doing another episode of Getting to Know You. We like to do those episodes, and the reason why is that the church is growing at a good rate. And what happens is we have new people that come in, and you kind of look across the congregation at times. You say, "Well, I think I know them," but this is a way with Ken and Patty. This is a way that you're going to be able to get to know them on a very personal basis, so that when you see them in church, you see them around town, you're actually going to be able to say, "Hey, I know you, and I know you." And it is good to have Ken and Patty Berry with us, very close friends of ours here today. So we appreciate you showing up. And now let's get to know this couple a little bit better. All right, Ken and Patty. First of all, thanks for coming to our home. We do appreciate that so very, very much.
Yeah.
How long have you guys been in the community?
We moved to Roseburg, 2001. Yeah, summer 2001.
So you've been here for a while.
A little while. Yeah.
I'm almost sure, because we've talked about this, your dad was a pastor, right?
Yep, he was.
Now you realize that you and I both were called PKs a lot, right?
All the time.
All the time. But we changed that. We're no longer PKs. Now we're TOs, theological offspring. I think that just sounds a whole lot better that
It does.
way.
Yeah, a little more dignity.
A little more dignity that way. Patty, what about you? What do you do in our community?
I work at a dermatologist's office, Dr.
Okay.
Katie and Dr. Weiss's office.
How long have you been there?
13 years.
13 years.
Mhm.
Wow. So you've been there a while.
Yep.
and Ken, what exactly do you do?
Right now, just started my, second phase of my career, and I work at the Veterans Administration for the police department there as a
Wow.
police officer.
But you have been in law enforcement a long time.
I have.
So how many
Yeah.
years have you been in law enforcement?
I've got about 26 years in law enforcement.
Oh my goodness.
Yep.
Now you worked for Douglas County,
Yep, Douglas County.
and then you went to work for Jacksonville. Is
Yep.
that right?
Yeah,
Police officer in
Jacksonville.
Jacksonville.
Yeah, Jacksonville Police down by
And
Medford.
then from there up to here.
Yes.
So are you, like you say, your second phase? Is this kind of like, are we ever going to retire?
Well, I
One
mean,
day?
technically, I am retired from local law enforcement, and then I decided to go into a different phase, different field of law enforcement. And this is completely different than anything I've
Wow.
ever done, and
Wow.
so
Wow.
it's kind of starting all over,
Cool.
but not really. So
Yeah, kind of the same stuff.
a little bit of the same stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. So what about, you said you got here 2001?
Yeah.
And I think Lisa and we got here, I think in 97, I believe. What brought you here?
Just work, I would say, right? Yeah, I was working for the sheriff's office then, living over on the coast in
Okay.
Reedsport,
Okay.
and we just wanted something different.
Weather-wise.
Weather-wise, Patty got tired of the fog and the wind
the cold.
all day, every day. And
See, that's what Lisa says. Lisa says that, coast it's fun, it's all that, as long as the sun's shining. The problem was it doesn't shine as much over there.
Right.
yeah, you get a lot of fog in the summer.
Yeah.
It gets old.
Now, children,
What about them?
they do exist,
Oh,
right?
yeah, oh, yes. Our children specifically.
Yes.
Okay.
No, not other people's
Oh.
children, your children. So how many kids you got? What's their names? What do they do?
We have 3 boys, Patrick, Andrew, and Carson. Patrick is working for North Sky Communications. It's a telecom company as a lineman. He went to the lineman college in Orville last year, graduated from that, and is working for this telecom company. And he's hoping to get into high voltage line work
Okay,
eventually.
okay.
He's engaged, getting married to Kelby this fall. And then our son Andrew, he is going to school and working full time for a friend of ours in construction,
Okay.
building homes. And then our youngest one, Carson, he's a reserve at Winston Police, and then he does for his actual job. He works for Douglas Forest Products.
Now you got 2 boys, Carson and Andrew. that are both kind of wanting to follow in your footsteps, aren't they?
Yeah, they both are.
How do you feel about that? And a serious question. Most of the time, most time we ask a dad, how do you feel about your kids following your footsteps? And it's a very proud moment. Let me ask you, in the times that we live, because this is different times we live right now.
Yeah.
Let me ask Mom first. How do you feel about the times we live in and your kids possibly taking on that law enforcement deal?
Well, it took me several years to wrap my mind around Ken wanting to do it. And first several times I said no. And came back up again. And so I knew it was really on his heart.
Right.
I knew it was serious. It wasn't just like a little, I want to go buy a dirt bike or something. It was something he was really passionate about. And so basically we had really good premarital counselor that told us that I needed to let God take care of him.
Right.
And I needed to just release him to the Lord. Not that he was already under his control, but it was
Right.
for me.
Right.
And so trying to do that as a mother is a little bit more difficult, I
Yeah.
feel like. And I'm not sure how to explain that. But I think when the time comes, I know God will do the same thing.
Right.
And that I know he'll protect them.
Now, Ken, you've been in it for 26 years, 27, 26?
26.
So you know the ins, the outs of law enforcement. You know the dangers. I hate to say it like this, but you know that the public, not maybe in this area, but in many areas, the public's view of police officers, it's just totally changed from when you and I grew up.
It really has.
It's changed. So as a dad, knowing all of that, how are you feeling about the kids moving in that?
Well, it's I'm apprehensive for him because I know what the atmosphere is like in the country. I know locally in in this region that it's very, very supportive of the career field, but just you still have a lot of those negative feelings out there. But I couldn't be prouder of him.
Right.
It's a double-edged sword.
Right.
I love it. It's great. I can't wait for them to do it, and we can sit around and tell war stories to each other and tell lies and about how good we are. And but then I also know all the bad stuff that goes with it.
Andrew, I know all your kids. I love all your kids. You guys have done an exceptional job raising your children.
She's really good at it.
exceptional, exceptional.
Thanks.
And I know Andrew, one of his, in talking with him, and one of the reasons I know a little bit about Andrew is because their boy is dating our daughter. So we know a little bit about that. And I know one of the things that he's looking I know he's told you guys this already, but he's looking the most forward to is when he finally gets that job as a police officer and he is what they call being pinned. And looking forward to you, his father, coming. Man, that kind of choked me up a little bit, coming and doing that. And then also to watch the kid. You can always tell a lot about parents, I believe, by looking at kids. And every one of your boys absolutely adores you guys. And I'll tell you something that's pretty cool. Here's something pretty cool. And I judge a lot of boys by this. They do everything they can to make sure that mom approves of what they're doing. And of course, the stuff that you wouldn't approve, they're just not going to tell you about. Probably. But But anyway, it was very, very special. So, what brought you to New Beginnings, our church? What brought you?
You answer that one.
Well, there's a couple of different reasons. We were having a little bit of stress in our life at that time. And
To say the least.
Yeah, to say the least. And also the thing that brought us to New Beginnings was the security team and a little bit on the police officer
Hang on a second.
vibe.
Way to go, Dan. You made us
Yes.
look good, buddy.
Yes, very much so. Just the cameras that are around. He's very, very good about going into the parking lot and just checking cars and seeing who's who and
Yeah.
who's supposed to be where. And it just makes us feel really comfortable because when he's comfortable, I'm comfortable. And when he's looking like this back, at the door all the time, he's not able to worship.
Yeah.
And so then I'm not able to worship because I feel the anxiety. So that was one thing. But then once we were there, I could totally feel the presence of the Lord. I felt the Spirit. I felt like I like this feeling. Like I want more of this feeling. And
I remember you said you felt like we were home.
yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. And we didn't know you guys at all.
I'd met him once before.
Oh yeah, you had. That's
Yeah.
right.
He arrested me. I'm sorry. I didn't want to tell anybody that, but
He was very polite. Oh, he prayed for me in a parking lot one time.
I remember that because I went over, I think, and I'd even asked you if you knew Caleb or something like that.
Mhm.
And it was after the shooting, wasn't it?
Oh yeah.
And I had made, I'm going to get back to the minute, Patty. I had made a commitment for a period of time after the UCC shooting, of which Ken was out there very quickly after that shooting. And I had made a commitment that at least once a month, if not once a week, I was going to find a police officer and to simply say thank you. And that day, what I didn't know was what God was going to do between me and Kim that day. I had no idea. And that day, I pulled up in a parking lot, if I remember right. You were in the squad car, and we had a little conversation. I got to pray with him, and it was just, I had no idea how close we were going to become, just a few years down the road. So it was pretty cool. But I want you to go back to this. You felt like home when you came in, because that's something Lisa and I was striving for. If you remember, part of our brochure, it actually says a place to come home to. So
Yeah.
talk to us just a little bit more about that.
I just felt very comfortable, very at peace, very like I could be who I am. And everybody was very welcoming. Like, just everybody was just coming up
Yeah.
and meeting us, and they were just very friendly. Like sometimes churches can be cliquey, and they're very comfortable with their group of people, and they don't really go outside for those new faces that
Yeah.
come.
Yeah.
And we were a new face, and we were just very welcomed. They were just very like we had known them before somewhere, that
Wow.
kind of feeling. So
Now, I got to ask this question because I had heard stories that when you guys first came, friendly people, things going good, music good,
the music is amazing.
and then Randy gets up to preach. Now, want to finish the story?
It was good. Yeah. So me coming from a Southern Baptist background, my dad being a Southern Baptist pastor, and just grew up in that. And so when we got out of church that day, I said, "So what do you think?" I said, "Wow."
And I was
He's pretty intense or something. Like that.
I said, I love it. Somebody with some passion and is from your heart. And that's what I needed that. I needed it.
Because
wanted it.
I was nervous the whole time. I kept waiting for the snakes to come out.
We don't handle
don't.
snakes,
No,
folks,
we
okay?
don't. No, nothing like that.
Scorpions, but no
No.
snakes.
It's in the advanced class.
It's a whole nother service.
Yeah. Oh.
But so what, Ken? What was it? Was it the next week or the following week or a month later, or maybe what was it? There had to be a time after that. Something had to click somewhere, or you wouldn't have come back. So sometimes something had to click to say, you know what? I think I can like this. What was it? Do you remember?
Well, for me, probably I can, if I look back at it, probably saying even after that first service, even though it was more intense than what I grew up
Yeah.
with, it was still, I knew it was the right place to be. It's, I knew right from the beginning you were genuine, and everything that you were saying that morning was coming from your heart. I knew that you were preaching exactly what God wanted you to preach. And, whether it comes out quiet, whether it comes out the way it comes out of Randy, if that's what God wants said, that's what God wants said.
Wow. We're gonna close this interview up in just a little bit, but I'm not gonna do it before first. Ken and Patty in our church, they teach a class. Could be one of the most valuable classes that we actually have taught at New Beginnings. And it's for married couples. Now we can extend that and do some other stuff, but what we've done lately has been for married couples. And the book, the videos, it was called Cherished. And it was absolutely phenomenal. We will be doing that again. We will be advertising that in plenty of time, but there's only about 4 to 5 couples that are allowed to get into it at that particular class. You want to keep listening, because, and we're not talking about something for marriages that are in trouble. That's not what we're talking about. We're talking about marriages that just maybe need a tune-up, or maybe we just need to learn how to cherish each other again. And I'm going to have them talk briefly about that, maybe give just a quick overview, because for many couples in our church, it has been one of the highlights for the last several years at New Beginnings. So guys, talk about that just a little bit.
This book, Cherish, is one of the things I like about it a lot is the author comes at it from the perspective of, when we do our vows and and all those things, we talk about love. We love this person. I love you. I'm so in love. And, but he takes it to the next step and it says, okay, we talk about love, and goes into the Song of Songs, the Book of Solomon. And he's talking about cherishing. You can love your wife, your spouse, but then cherish is to a different level. Mm-hmm. And it's where you focus on the person and their heart, mm-hmm. and just what they're about, and really just cherishing them to take care of the relationship and doing your best to take the relationship to the next level, I think.
See, I like the way you said that, because that's exactly how I felt. It's anybody can say that I love you, but when you guys begin to teach us, it's not about just I love you, it's do I cherish you? And to cherish, what I got out of it, by the way, I had to take it twice. I flunked the first time, so 2 times. So, but to cherish somebody literally means I am going to put what you need and who you are above my needs, because I cherish you. And by cherishing that person, you actually become a better person. Mm-hmm. That's what I was getting out of it. So the other thing too I want to mention, as far as teachers, it's actually it's one of Ken's giftings. He's a great teacher. But I can tell you this, he wouldn't be near the teacher without Patty there. They work in combo. They actually, you've seen sometimes these people that kind of finish each other's sentences. That's where they're at. That's why God put them at that class, in that class, to teach that class. It's also why God put them in a box, wrapped it up, put a bow on it, said, Randy and Lisa, here you go. Now, what are you going to do with the gift that I've given to you? And that's what they are to us. They're a gift. They're a gift. We're going to close up in just a minute. I got to wipe tears out of my eyes again. Is there anything else that you guys wanted to maybe add about who you are, or kids, or the church, or what you do? Anything at all that you want to add?
No, if you're looking for a church home, this is it.
It's
This is really it.
great.
it's for
great
real.
people who
Wow.
love to serve the Lord,
Wow.
and you'll be fulfilled.
Wow.
Yep.
Thank you so much again for showing up and giving us the last 20, 25 minutes of your life. And we want you to know we really do appreciate that, because you can't get the minutes back. There's no way you can do it. And you have just invested your time into us. And we want you to know that if you are looking for a church, as this couple said, we want you to know we're not perfect. We want you to know that there's so many things that we could probably do better. But we do want you to know this: nobody's going to love you anymore.
That's right.
Nobody's going to treat you any better. We really do love you. And New Beginnings really is a place to come home to, where the judging is left to God and the loving He leaves to us. One more time, thank you for showing up to Getting to Know You. God bless you, and we'll see you soon.